How many books do you have to publish through Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing to make money? Quite a few aspiring authors and self-publishers ask this question to validate their journey into self-publishing via KDP. In my previous video, I discussed the profitability and work that goes into Amazon KDP, but I never said specifically how many books you'd need to publish to officially make money. But how you define making money makes all the difference because let's face it, you only need one published book to make money. Sell one copy and you can check make money off the list. For the sake of this video, let's place value on the make money part of publishing through KDP. In my opinion, once you can consistently drive $1,000 in profits every month, you're on track to earning a modest part-time living from book sales. Can one book drive enough sales to earn $1,000 per month? Sure, but it's going to require more marketing and promotion than ever. Assuming that one book is your first foray into the world of self-publishing, chances are likely you're going to be grinding out those sales. Being a new author comes with more challenges than being an established author with a deep backlog of books. Don't lose heart though, because it is entirely possible to make a substantial living from one book. Again, it's going to require a lot of work. Let's explore exactly how many books it'll take to drive at least $1,000 or more in sales per month. New authors and self-publishers should study the market before ever putting pen to paper, but I understand some authors are going to write what they want to write regardless of profitability. If you're in it for the craft and you don't care about making money, then don't study the market. Otherwise, if you want to make consistent money, you must put in the time and research your niche. The first key factor for making money through KDP is proof of concept, and the easiest way to measure that is through the Amazon bestseller rank, or ABSR. Visit the region-specific Amazon marketplace you plan to target for readership. In my case, I visit Amazon.com for US sales. Find any number of books related to your niche. I know this might be a tall ask if you're a genre-bending author, so land on an overarching theme for your book so you can place your book next to the similar books. Now scroll down the page to the product details section where you get all the pertinent metadata, including the ABSR. If you do not see an ABSR, this product has had no sales. However, if you choose wisely a book from your niche that's hitting the top of the bestseller lists, then you'll get some number, any number. Now that's the ticket. Amazon provides a rank for any products that have sold at least one copy. But ABSR doesn't remain constant. It's always ebbing and flowing with the constant increase in products and fluctuation in sales. All hope isn't lost though, because Amazon gives everyone a fighting chance based on the categories they choose for their publication. Amazon has a unique categorization system for all products, with ebooks separated into the Kindle Store category, print books under the books category, and audiobooks falling under the Audible books and originals. Pick the right categories, and you could place your book in the ideal position for more customers to see your content. And when you categorize your book, you're placing it alongside similar books in your niche. When you sell books in that niche, Amazon serves your book to more customers who buy other books like it. And it works the other way around too. Amazon further separates those main product tags to the category level with a broad descriptor like history or literature and fiction. Then it further breaks down into a subcategory level where you uncover a more segmented approach to the niche. It could be like history, US history, or literature and fiction, genre fiction. Then the placement level is the most granular view of a niche. You'll find the further you go down the browse path of category, subcategory, and placement, it gets easier and easier to place on the Amazon bestseller lists. The next key factor asks two questions. Is there a demand for your content? And what's the current supply? When you're researching, pay closest attention to the placement category compared to the overall ABSR. The lower the placement ranking and the higher the overall ABSR indicates less competition. For instance, right now the bestseller list for governmental accounting. The browse path is Kindle eBooks, business and money, accounting, governmental. The example book has an overall ABSR of 165,450. Here's what we can surmise from that. 1. This isn't a very competitive niche. 2. It won't take many sales to hit the #1 spot in this placement. And 3. Looking at the other books in this niche, it might not be very popular, therefore not the best category to break into. Now, keep in mind, you don't want to choose some random category that has nothing to do with your book. KDP can reject your selection and has been known to suspend or even terminate accounts based on improper category use. Though it's tempting to park your book in a category with no competition, it's not really worth it because you're confusing Amazon's algorithms and putting your work in front of the wrong people. The exact opposite of the first example would be psychological fiction. The browse path as Kindle ebooks, literature and fiction, genre fiction, psychological. The top spot in this placement has an overall ABSR of 5. Yep, 5. And if you scroll through this placement, you'll see it's a very stiff competition. Side note, I'm using the free browser extension DS Amazon Quick View to get a snapshot of the selected categories in ABSR for each. If you want to use this browser extension beyond Amazon US, you'll have to pay a $25 lifetime fee. But how many sales does it take to get a set ABSR? The fine folks at Kindlepreneur have been working with thousands of authors and TradPub companies for years, so they can estimate how many sales it gets to hit a certain ABSR. Visit dalelinks.com/calculator to get access to this free tool. Now, for this first example, the overall ABSR of the number one book in the category was 165,450. It sold roughly less than one book a day. So if you can sell at least 1 to 2 books a day, you would hit number one spot and get more preferential treatment from this placement. However, remember to verify there's a demand. Based on the rank of the rest of the books in this bestseller list, the demand is very low. Your title retails for $2.99 and you make about $2 per sale, you'd roughly get $60 per month. That's a far cry from the $1,000 per month milestone. Remember, this ABSR indicates only one market. For ebooks, KDP reaches 13 Amazon regions. For paperback books, it's 12 regions, and hardcover is about 9 regions. Now, just because it doesn't perform well on Amazon US doesn't mean it doesn't perform better in other regions. Or for that matter, it may not even perform well at all on Amazon and is more suited for other platforms or direct sales. Just because it doesn't do well on Amazon doesn't mean it can't still make money elsewhere. I always have to add that because many authors get frustrated they can't make it on Amazon. There is life off of Amazon, folks. For the second example, the ABSR was 5, which would require 3,950 sales per day. Wow! Now, based on the rest of the ABSRs of the books in that placement, the demand is definitely there, but there's an overwhelming supply. Cutting through the noise is going to be tough. For an ebook priced at $2.99 with a rough profit of $2, you get about $7,900 per day. Now, quick side note. Reader checkouts influence the ABSR of KDP Select Enrolled ebooks. For someone like Frida, reader checkouts make up for a lot of the ABSR. The more readers check out her book, the higher it'll place in the bestseller list. Higher placement provides better discoverability on Amazon, leading to more sales and more checkouts. You want to find the categories that find a balance between those two examples. Yes, competition's fine, and you should expect it, but if you're a new author, you'll want every advantage you can get to break out above the pack. That's not to say you should throw your hands up and toss your manuscript in the trash and find another career. It just means that you're writing for a highly competitive market. Be prepared to do everything it takes to get to the top and stay there. But you don't need to be a chart-topping indie sensation like Frida McFadden to make a substantial living. Frida could definitely coast on one book, but anyone familiar with Frida's work will notice she's fairly prolific. Now, is that the key to making money through KDP? If you love to stay up to date in the world of self-publishing, then subscribe to my email newsletter. Every week I curate and distill all the relevant news and inside intel about self-publishing so that you can focus on your author business. Subscribe at dalelinks.com/checklist and I'll send you my bestseller book launch checklist as a small token of my appreciation. Again, that's dalelinks.com/checklist. I think it's unfair to use Frida as an example, especially if you're just breaking into the business. She worked on her brand and has built a successful book-selling brand from years of hard work. Not all new authors should compare themselves to Frida for that matter. Can you aspire to reach her status? Sure, but should you expect to sell 3,000 copies per day out the gate with no brand, no email newsletter, no following, and no connections? Not really. Amazon isn't willing to invest any time into products that don't convert sales on their platform. The more products you sell, the more Amazon will reward you with new customers. The less sales you make, Amazon is less inclined to merchandise your book in the front of the browsing customers. They want proven winners with consistent sales. If you had one ebook priced at $2.99 and made about $2 per sale, you'd need 500 sales within 1 month. That breaks down to about 17 book sales per day or a 9,000 overall ABSR. It's possible to get that, but you'll need all your marketing and promotional plans on standby for your book launch. You'll need a professional book cover design, fully edited marketing copy for your book description, 3 categories, relevant keywords in your back end. Now, next, an email list is an absolute must today. Places like MailerLite and MailChimp offer free access for up to 1,000 subscribers. More recently, ConvertKit offered up to 10,000 free subscribers. Now, seed your email list through premium promotional services like Crave Books or Written Word Media. Or do it the old-fashioned way and place a call to action across social media, on your website, on your business card, in your book, and anywhere someone will listen to you. Once you have a few email subscribers, connect and network with other authors in your niche. Sometimes it seems impossible, but if you do enough digging, you'll find the best way to contact someone is through their website or social media, of course. Now, should you not be a fan of cold prospecting, I get it. You can use premium services like Story Origin or BookFunnel, where they have marketplaces for authors willing to collaborate through newsletter swaps and group promos. Line up collaborations that fire off at regular intervals and avoid doing a bunch all at once. You want steady and consistent sales, so Amazon takes note. Last, you're going to want to establish presence anywhere you can. Marketing and promotion are all about being visible. How you're visible is entirely up to you. Consider a website, blog, social media, in-person conferences, virtual summits, podcasts, and more. The possibilities are endless. Let's say you just want to push the easy button and don't want to fuss with all those previous options. Can you publish a certain number of books to make money? Back to our first example of the book with 165,000 ABSR. If you could duplicate the same success of $60 for one title per month, then you'd need 17 books. I'd recommend, if you want to go the prolific route, that you don't spread what you do so thin that it's going nowhere. Instead, build an author brand that is reliable and consistent with a particular niche. Is it possible to do it with a multi-genre author? Sure, but it's much harder because readers won't be able to predict what you'll launch next. If you become the go-to resource in your genre, you can win big. Once a new reader picks up your first book, they're naturally going to want to read the rest of what you have to offer. That'll add up in due time. Now, one other complexity I haven't addressed is sales across all iterations: ebooks, paperback, hardcover, and audiobook. So if you have 4 versions of your title and get 1 sale per day of each, you'll be getting closer to $240 per month if the profit per sale was $2 each. That means if you had mediocre performing titles published in 4 iterations, you'd only need 4 to 5 books to hit that $1,000 per month benchmark. So how many KDP books do you have to publish to make money? It depends. What are your financial goals in your author business? Because once you define how much you want to earn, work backwards from there to know where you need to go next. To help you decide on the next best steps, I put together a deep dive piece into the cost of self-publishing over here. Or check out my previous post about the profitability of Amazon KDP in 2024. See you in either one of these videos.